What's good, everybody? Welcome into the final NFL Monday Night Early Edge Live. I am the coach. We are powered, as always, by the almighty SportsLine. There is no better value in all of sports. I see all of you beautiful people already super active in the chat tonight. If you could do me a favor, pull that chat down for me one time, hit that like button, put it right back up, and continue to converse. We've got Noah Kelsey in the chat tonight running things for us over there. So if you have any questions for the SportsLine team, go ahead and put it into the chat, and they will answer it for you. Also, if you have a prop in about 15 minutes or so that you're looking at, that you're interested in the game tonight, go ahead and put it into the chat. Leave the juice on it if you would, please. And also, don't be scared to leave your Twitter handle as we're accumulating information for something really big down the road. All right, with that being said, you know it's Monday night, so I bring in all my heavy hitters. So let's bring them in right now, all the stars of the show. There you go. First and foremost, live from Nashville, Tennessee, the penthouse level, and fresh back from New York City, M Squared. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Coach. Feels great to be home back with you guys. I absolutely hate missing the shows, especially these live shows, as you know. So definitely excited for a little Monday Night Football with Big Ben.
Boom. Now, working double duties tonight on the ones and twos. Also live from Nashville, Tennessee, Music City, but 8 floors below. Dial up AB, and I hate to do this, but I'm a pro, and I'm the host of this show, and when credit needs to be given, I will do it. You got into the club last night as the ball was up in the air. I was like, who is in the – oh, no! It's Alan Lazard! And now you got 2 passes to get into the club. Congratulations.
Thank you, Coach. I appreciate that. Yeah, it feels good to be a 2-time member of the club. And, yeah, you know, just 8 floors down below Mike. We're just shoveling snow out here in Nashville trying to get the streets walkable again.
Alex, don't tell me it doesn't burn you just a little bit to have AB do that last night.
A little bit would be an understatement, Coach. I would say it burns me alive. But, yeah, I am desperate to get in on my own accord. I am doing everything I can behind the scenes. I am excited for tonight, an AFC North showdown. I love these games. They're usually very physical and very defensive-minded. So, yeah, I'm pumped up.
All right, we're going to talk about it here in a second, but I got to handle some business first with my man, Sia. Now, Sia, I would never be one to stir the drink. I would never be one to do this. But this morning on Early Edge, the morning show, AB said, and I quote, tomorrow's going to be even worse, Coach, because I'll be a 3-time member into the club after tonight. Did you or did you not say that, AB?
Oh, we said it. Absolutely.
Oh, you said it. So, Sia, you're the only one of us that has the opportunity to also be a 3-timer. So clearly he's given you no respect. How do you feel about that?
Well, Alan stole the words right out of my mouth. He just happened to be on earlier today on the morning show. So it's going to be me. To paraphrase In Sync, it's going to be me. And I've got the lock. I have the lock first touchdown score. Just wait till the end of the show. I've got the guy.
All right. We also have a very fresh donkey parlay for everybody at home. I know you're waiting for that. We'll do that around the top of the hour or so. But we need to get in, I don't know. What do you think, Mikey? 500 likes to give out the donkey tonight?
Minimum, yeah. We're already at 164, so, yeah, at least 500.
Okay, we got to get to 500. You got to do it for us, or we're not going to give out that donkey. It's so much fun, and we hit it a bunch too. All right, let's get into the storylines for tonight because, as I mentioned, it's the last Monday night game of the year. Week 18 is next week, and Mikey, I'm going to start with you because tonight it's all about Big Ben. The spread has shifted, and now the Steelers are favored, and they're at home. It's going to be the last home game for Big Ben. How do we not just look at the Steelers and say they're going to do anything in their power to get Big Ben a win tonight?
Well, I mean, I guess the obvious thing to say is, yes, they're going to do everything they can. They should have been doing everything they can to win football games all season, and they haven't been able to do it. So that's one thing that you always still have to point out at this point in the season. It's still a rivalry game. Yeah, I mean, look, I lean towards the Steelers. I'm pretty frustrated because we talked about the mega preview, talked about the number, betting it. I didn't get it in early before the move. I didn't get to play it like some of my colleagues did. Congratulations to those guys. But yeah, no, it's you gotta look at the Steelers here. They're certainly going to sell out, do everything they possibly can for Ben. Motivation may be lacking just a touch on the other side. Big news: Kareem Hunt not active for this game as well for the Cleveland Browns. So a lot of Pittsburgh Steelers tonight.
See, when I look at the numbers, and we don't normally like trends, or we don't say because this happened in 2017, it's going to happen in 2021. But let me read this stat to you. The Browns have lost 17 straight regular season games in Pittsburgh. The last win was 2003. The Steelers are looking to sweep the Browns for the 14th time since they returned in 1999. I would say those are trends that we could look at. No?
Yeah, I mean, you know me, and I think that's why you couched the question that way. I'm not a big trends guy when it dates back season by season, but there is something to be said about the mystique of playing in Pittsburgh, especially a divisional game, which, you know, regardless of records, Pittsburgh is going to take seriously. Now, the Browns are too, but clearly, whether they're taking it seriously or not, they keep losing at Heinz Field. So, no, I think you have to get that. That's one of the few trends I think you have to consider in this game.
Alex, let me come to you because you've been in the lab all day, and we've got two quarterbacks that obviously been struggling. Big Ben is like a statue, can't move around. The numbers reflect that. But from a prop perspective in this AFC North, as you said, just a knockdown, drag-out fight tonight, what do we do? How do we look at it?
Yeah, I mean, you can look at the total and the 43-point total, I believe. That's a pretty low number, and you can anticipate it being a low-scoring game. I think that's reflected in the majority of the props as well. Outside of, you know, Nick Chubb, Najee Harris, all these numbers are fairly low whether it's receivers, tight ends, across the board. I just don't think that, you know, the books are expecting a lot of offense, or at least a lot of passing offense, especially from Cleveland's side of things. So, yeah, just everything kind of makes sense when you look at it's a rivalry game. It's week 17. It's, you know, two teams that haven't performed that well this season. The offenses has not been very dynamic outside of, you know, Cleveland's running game and, yeah, at times Pittsburgh's passing offense. But, yeah, I'm expecting a low-scoring game. I think all the props reflect that as well.
All right, real quick while I'm coming to AB, can you just take a little towel or a Kleenex, just clean off your camera just a little bit for me if you wouldn't mind there, Alex?
Yes.
AB, let me come to you. And you know what I'm asking you, because the last game that Baker Mayfield played, it was against the Green Bay Packers. How many interceptions did he throw?
A lot. 4.
Yeah. You are the king of the interception prop. How are we looking tonight, big boy?
Well, tell you what, I got one of them as an official play we'll give out here in just a second.
I didn't even know that.
No, yeah. Well, what I'm saying is this. Both quarterbacks are very prime for an interception tonight. Very, very prime. And I'll say this, what Prop Stars was talking about, we might see one early because, look, both of these teams are going to force the issue early in the first half of this game since Week 12, okay? Week 12. The Pittsburgh Steelers have been outscored 97-9 in the first half of games. That's just Week 12 since, right? Like, these are two slow starting teams. It's Ben's last game at home tonight. They might force the issue a little bit.
I wonder if there's going to be a big, like, video before the game, like a real tear-jerker, just to get everybody really going and understand what this guy's all about.
I'll tell you this, probably so. Also, as everybody knows that's ever been to a Steelers game, when Renegade gets fired up late in the game, buddy, that place is going to be a madhouse. So go over on props in the fourth quarter. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, you successfully a few weeks ago when the Steelers were playing the Titans, you said, let's bet the Titans in the first half and let's bet the Steelers in the second half, and we cashed both tickets. It's something you almost never do, but we did it because the numbers said to do it. So, Mikey, let me come back to you. As we spin it forward to tonight and what we should expect, we got to look back at the first game. And it was a 15-10 knockdown, drag-out, ugly game. Can we take anything from that game and use it tonight?
I mean, a little bit. What you can take from that is kind of what you can take from Pittsburgh having so much success against this team at home. These division games are just tough to win, especially when you're on the road. So you get those tighter competitive games. But as far as the low scoring, I definitely lean a little bit closer to the higher scoring than the low scoring tonight myself. Okay. Part of that is just because I think we're going to see a lot of pass attempts, which are either chunk plays or incomplete passes that keep the clock stopped, which just simply allow for more plays to be run in the game. So I don't think we take a ton from it other than I think it should be a competitive game. The obvious question is how motivated is Cleveland to go in there and get this win?
Okay. Real quick chat question. I think sometimes we forget not everybody. We've got a lot of new fans, a lot of new followers. Sia, there's a question in the chat. How do I bet a teaser? I've never done it before. Sometimes I forget not everybody's done this before. Can you quickly let them know how to do a teaser and what a teaser is about?
Yeah, a teaser is just manipulating the line in the favor of where you want to go. Most teasers are 6 points, although you get 6.5 and 7-point teaser options as well, even 10-point teaser options, which usually require 3 teams. But the typical teaser, you're moving the line 6 points. So in this case, what's the line? It's the Steelers -2.5 or -3. Let's say it's -3. You can shift that -3 to +3 by moving the line 6 points towards the Steelers if that's the side you want to bet. And then, of course, you have to tease one other thing. A tease implies you are teasing at least 2 things. So there you would tease the over down and take you tease the number down and take the over. Or if you like the under in this game, you would tease the, 41.5 or 40, it's 43,
yes,
right? The over under.
Yeah.
So
43.
if you like the under, you tease it up 6 points to 49, and then you take the under. And if you like the over, you tease 43 down to 37 and you take the over. Both of those have to hit for you to hit your bet.
Boom. Mikey, you raised your hand. What do you got?
Oh yeah, I was just gonna say I think the user might be just asking specifically on MGM, and MGM does not allow teasing in every state. There's certain states on their book, so that could be the issue that the user is running into. On that.
So we got answers on both sides of the fence. So thank you. My apologies. Thanks, Mikey. I guess I didn't read that the right way. All right, we have crossed the bottom of the hour. It is time to do our best bets, and don't worry about it. In about 5 to 10 minutes, we are going to nail all the props you could possibly ask for or want. Now, Alex, I know you're chomping at the bit. So guess what? Tonight, I'm going to let you go first, big boy. What do you got as an official play or plays in the game tonight?
Love it, Coach. Thank you. Yeah, I'm going Najee Harris under 101 rushing plus receiving yards, under 101 combination prop. I found this line on MGM. It's different on some other books, so I would obviously try and find the highest total possible if you're looking to play the under. Listen, Najee Harris has been extremely inefficient this season, especially when you look at the advanced metrics. He's second on the season with 20.8 expected points per game. The Browns are also competent against the run. They rank 14th in EPA allowed per rush, 10th in run defense grade. It's going to take Najee Harris to get a ton of volume, in my opinion, to go over this number. Looking at some of the other metrics, he's 39th in success attempt rate, 50th in breakaway percentage, 34th in yards per route run. So yeah, just not very good. He's eclipsed this total in 4 of 8 games. Those 4 teams that came against were Kansas City, Baltimore, Detroit, Minnesota. 3 of those 4 teams are absolutely terrible defensively, at least stopping opposing running games. Outside of Baltimore, it took him, which was the only good defense he did this against, it took 26 touches, which is just a ton of volume. I'm just not sure he's going to receive that many carries and touches tonight. I think it's a big number. So yeah, I am fading Najee Harris over 101 rushing and receiving yards.
What would you say to the people that want to play the rushing prop and it's 70.5 and it's juiced to the over -123?
I think that number is fairly efficient. I mean, I'm leaning under on it. My projections have a nice edge on the combo prop, which is why I'm going that way. I did look at the rushing total. I do lean under on it, but I'm much more comfortable with the combination prop. You get like an extra 10 to 15 yards of give. And I'd say the rushing is a no play.
Okay. Trent in the chat says, Coach, FanDuel has Najee rushing and receiving at 96.5. Do I stay away?
Yeah, you'd stay away at that number, or just if you could scale down to half a unit, even if you're feeling risk tolerant, that's okay too. My projection has him at like 87 combined, but I like to have like a significant edge in order to give out a play, which is why I'm going for the 101.5. So yeah, 96.5 is borderline. I'd say either skip it or just go half unit.
Okay, very good. Mikey, let me come to you, because if people are not paying attention at the beginning of the game, they can't get your play in. What do you got?
Yeah, definitely. I'm running with a first quarter play here. And, we talk about some of the trends. Most people know I mostly ignore every trend out there. One trend out there is the Steelers have started slow in pretty much every single game this year. I'm completely disregarding that, throwing it out the window here. I think they start really well in this game personally. Just motivation at an all-time high, energy at the all-time high. I actually wouldn't be shocked to see them, if they win the coin toss, to receive the ball and try and let Ben take that drive there if they are able to score. does a lot for keeping the crowd in this game as well. Would expect Cleveland to defer, maybe get that extra possession here for them in the first quarter. But either way, I expect a good defensive effort from the Steelers early in this game. And I'm taking them -1 on the spread here. It comes back at +145 on DraftKings. A similar line is going to be -1/2 at +135 on MGM. Up to you what you guys prefer there. I'm going to go ahead and lay the full point and here at +145. But I do like them to get off to a fast start here. I think that they score on their first possession of the game. And again, I expect a really tough defensive effort. The crowd should be at peak at kickoff here. Let's take advantage of that here at their home field.
Now, I know you're really, really big on those that play every single day that the juice matters. But what would you say to those that want to play the money line in the first quarter at around -130?
I think that it's an okay play. I expect them to be leading at the end of the first quarter, obviously. I'm just looking to take advantage of the plus money situation here. I envision a 7-3 game at the end of the first quarter, 7-0 game, even 3-0 game. But if you like the money line, if you want to have that stability there for a push in any scenario like that, I think it's fine. But for me personally, I would definitely go try and grab the plus money on the play.
Okay, very good. All right, moving on to our next official best bet of the night. And you'll notice with a lot of these plays, everybody at home, we're leaning into what we think the storyline and the game script should be. And it's going to be all about Big Ben and what he wants to do tonight. See, I'm coming to you.
Yeah, and I think, sometimes we can get like too caught up in narratives, especially I think Mike's point at the beginning of the show was really astute when he said, well, yeah, they're going to be really trying hard for Big Ben. But yeah, they were probably kind of doing that the last 16 weeks as well. So it's something to consider. However, I do think, and this kind of goes with Allen's props as well, and just so the whole theme here, I do think they are going to have somewhat of a swan song, somewhat of a maybe this is maybe a bad analogy, but what we saw with Kobe Bryant during his last game, where they're just going to force the touchdowns with Big Ben once he gets in the red zone. So while I don't want to guarantee necessarily how many yards he's going to pass for, what I think is when they actually do get towards the red zone, whether it's by way of pass interference or some other way, I do think they're going to lean pass heavy there versus the run. Now, if you look at Big Ben's last 2 games, he's only thrown for 1 touchdown combined. But the games before that, I mean, if that's your sample size, you don't like this prop very much. But the games before that, he threw for 3 touchdowns, 2 touchdowns, 1, and then 3, and then 2. So there's a good history going back 8 weeks of him actually hitting this prop. This would be the game, though, where I would think he would really push the envelope. His last game at Heinz Field, get a couple touchdowns under his belt.
I like this a lot. I just played it myself as you were giving it out, so thank you very much. All right, now, you notice on the full screen, the Maestro also has a play tonight, even though he's not on the show. We're going to go Nick Chubb, longest rush over 16.5 yards, -113. Our guy Made in Focus, who's very, very sharp in the chat. He loves Chubb tonight with a lot of the Steelers' defense out, and their run defense is not that good anyway. So the Maestro wants Nick Chubb to have a run of 17 yards, and we cash it. All right, AB, you've got 2 official plays. Talk to me.
Yep, I agree with everything, every game script that M Squared has talked about. See ya, Alex, all of it, right? Like, I think that we're going to see an aggressive Pittsburgh Steelers team come out. You go back to that Week 8 game where the Browns and the Steelers played. Look, it was, 15-10? All right? Ben Roethlisberger had 34 passes attempts in that game, right? And I think that we're going to see one tonight where there could be, probably will be, a few more 4th down attempts, right? Like, they're not going to go to the field goal, kicking. Like, we're just going to have an aggressive style coaching play tonight. Not to mention, if we get the Browns ahead in this game, this is going to work great for this pass attempts. I also look at completions. I believe it sits at 22.5 right now. They're pretty much correlated. If you go with Ben Roethlisberger's stats historically, especially this year, it takes about 38 pass attempts for him to get to 23 or more completions. Now, on top of that, we're also going to play Ben Roethlisberger over half an interception. So essentially, he just needs to throw 1. We're going to play it at +100, plus money. And look, we know that Ben Roethlisberger generally does not throw that many interceptions because his passes are generally 6 yards and in. Well, tonight, probably is going to be the exception to that rule. And especially if they're late or if they're down late in the third quarter, in the fourth quarter, we could see a little bit more of an aggressive style, stretching that yardage in terms of his pass attempts. Lastly, the Cleveland Browns, they run cover 3 about 41% of the time in their defensive sets. Ben Roethlisberger, I hate to say it, is horrible against cover 3 defensive. Yeah, so we should be able to catch both of these tonight. Yeah, hit them both.
Oh, that recap and that best bet board looks absolutely fantastic. All right, so we're going to hit as many props as we can. It is 20 until the top of the hour. For the next 15 minutes or so, I do want to thank you guys once again for making the last 17 weeks amazing here on Monday nights, and I know the entire crew feels the same way. But we would be remiss if we didn't start our first prop bet tonight with a guy that has cashed for us all year, and he's been the guy for my man Prop Stars. And you know who I'm talking about, Alex. You know who I'm talking about. The number is, what is the number?
3.5 receptions.
32.5, and the, I believe it's 3.5. Yes, you are 3.5. Yes. But please tell the good people who I'm talking about.
None other than Mr. Pat Freiermuth, the tight end for the Pittsburgh Steelers. We love Pat Freiermuth here. We've had a lot of successful cashes on him tonight. However, I am worried about the volume. The volume just has not been there recently. Over the last 3 or 4 weeks, he's just been sitting around 3 to 4 targets per game, not sort of seeing the type of volume that I'm personally looking for to comfortably cash the over. He's certainly capable. But yeah, personally, when I'm looking at these props, I'm trying to find just basically a range of outcomes and the ones that are most likely to occur, and those are usually heavily correlated to volume. So yeah, the volume just isn't there for Pat recently. Certainly capable of going over this number, but yeah, until I see an uptick, I'm going to stay away, unfortunately, from our guy, Pat Freiermuth.
Okay, let's go to the Browns side now, Mikey. Austin Hooper, over 25.5, minus 110.
I would lean towards that, actually. I do like Hooper when he's active and healthy. It's going to be something we say about a lot, at least I will be saying about a lot of the Browns props. At any point, like, it wouldn't shock me at all if Chubb gets pulled from this game. It wouldn't shock me at all if Hooper is pulled from this game at any point here. That's just the way I personally am leaning into it. So I'm being very cautious with them. I lean under most of the way across the board, with the exception of Landry and Hooper there, but I lean under on Chubb props. But anyway, I want to talk about it here. Basically, I like Austin Hooper a lot. I'm just concerned how long he plays into this game with the other tight ends active and healthy for this game.
Okay, that's a very, very fair point, because even though the Browns are out of the playoffs this year, the last thing they want to do is have Nick Chubb get hurt the last 2 weeks of the season and then not have a full offseason to stay in shape. That's very, very important for a lot of these teams, especially these running backs, and there's very few like Nick Chubb. Maybe nobody's like Nick Chubb in the entire National Football League. Mikey.
I just want to mention while we're hitting on Chubb there too, it wouldn't shock me at all if they showcase Dearness Johnson just a little bit more in this game as well. They want to continue to get him some more reps with Hunt out. They might look to move him at some point. They're going to keep both Chubb and Kareem Hunt. Just something to consider at this point in the season with some of those younger guys like that.
Okay. A lot of questions about anytime touchdowns, Sia, and I would love for you to explain to a lot of people why we do the VJM, but we're not really big on making anytime touchdown bets, because we see how hard it is to get into the club, let alone, have any value on anytime touchdowns. Would you play a Pat Freiermuth anytime touchdown?
No, probably not. I think the only time you want to consider those is when the concentration share is really limited. With, for example, an offense, maybe Russell Wilson and the Seahawks are a bad example, but when he throws, it's generally to DK Metcalf or Tyler Lockett in the end zone. Here we have Chase Claypool, Deontay Johnson, Pat Freiermuth, Ray McLeod, who was emerging. There's just Najee Harris catches passes. It's just the concentration share just isn't enough there. But let me say this, and it's something I forgot to say with my initial play on Ben Roethlisberger, and I think it's good for Allen's picks as well. The Browns are missing their starting safeties in this game, and Troy Hill is out as well. And, oh, by the way, passing against the Browns defense is actually a little bit easier than running. But more importantly, passing against the Browns defense when they are on the road, the splits are pretty stark. They're great against the pass, or they're pretty good against the pass at home. But on the road, they're pretty bad this year. So a few more reasons to kind of put in the arsenal for that Steelers passing game.
Okay. Now, I respect you more than anybody in the world. I don't think anybody respects you as well. Clearly, AB does not respect because he's overacting like a 3-year-old in preschool while you're giving a very well thought out answer on an anytime touchdown. What is so funny, AB, that we're missing out on?
So, first off, we do have the funniest chat in the group, but somebody, like the question said, would you play an anytime TD? And our man Noah said, Prop Stars did this one season. The player walked off the field. Oh my God! I'm telling you, like he was giving a great answer, and I saw Noah write that, and I just died laughing. Like it was just funny.
Oh, God bless Antonio Brown. Oh my goodness. Oh, by the way, that guy's in. I hate to take shots at him, but come on, it's been 10 years. Enough already. He was literally, did you guys see the video that he did in New York with that celebrity driver that picked him up, and he was the happiest camper in the world? Something's not right there. You don't just lose $1 million and the rest of your career and the playoffs and potentially a Super Bowl cut unless there's something off up here. It's just, and I feel for him. Tom Brady even said it. We got to think about it. But, man, some of the stuff is just downright baffling to me. All right, let's keep it moving. Claypool over 42.5 receiving yards. Let me come back to you, Alex.
Yeah, I like this. I've been encouraged by Chase Claypool. I've always been really, really bullish on his talent. I know he's kind of been in and out of the doghouse for Pittsburgh throughout different points this season. The snaps haven't exactly been there. I would like to see him as a full-time player, but his talent is undeniable. I do agree with Cia. I do agree with AB that Ben is going to be airing the ball out a lot. I think he will be the beneficiary of that. I think 42 is a very low number. So, I absolutely like Chase Claypool tonight.
Okay. Pooh Bear, by the way, I see he says there's more to the story, Coach. Be easy on the criticism. I know the entire story. I know exactly what's going on. It doesn't take away from the fact that he has ruined his career for 10 years. So I'm not criticizing his head case. I'm just saying there's something off when you do this to yourself. But I know the entire story. I've worked in this business a long time. All right. And I respect you, Pooh Bear, too. Mikey, what do you got?
I just want to go back to Claypool quickly. I do think that his longest reception number is a pretty good look tonight. It's at 19.5 currently. He was routinely a player that when Big Ben was right and he was not in the doghouse, this number was 22.5 to 23.5 very routinely. Just knowing that we expect Big Ben to air it out a little bit more. They're playing at home. I don't expect him to be in the doghouse in this kind of situation. So if I was going to attack Claypool personally, I would start with that number just because I think it's about 2 to 3 yards too low. His talent, the way they can use him, I think 19.5 is a little too low there.
Okay. Very good. Very good. Thank you. Let me come back to Big Ben longest pass. I got to come to AB. You've been catching these all season long, and we love these plays. Over 34.5 for Big Ben tonight.
Yeah, no, I'll say this. Normally, I would never, ever play this with Ben Roethlisberger maybe twice a year. This is a time that I would play it, right? Like, I could absolutely see him airing this thing out, taking shots that they normally wouldn't, especially with the talents that he has, on the outside. Plus, like we talk about with Freiermuth, guys like that as well. So, I don't hate that at all. It's going to be hard-pressed for me to play anything under on Ben Roethlisberger tonight, because I really do think that he will be aggressive with it, especially in the third and fourth quarter. So if you take a prop on the Steelers and it doesn't really look that great in the first half, take a breather. You're all right. Like, the second half is when this team comes alive. They do it every single week. So,
every single week.
Yeah, feel okay with that. Yep.
Real quick, because we're a full-service show here, I got to quickly go back to AB, because Bravo in the chat says they didn't release him, or the team released him, so they still got to pay him his money. Alex, should you enlighten the people at home on what AB stood to gain in the last 2 weeks that was not his salary, please?
He had a $300,000 incentive to score one more touchdown, an additional $333,000 to score 2 more touchdowns, and 11 additional receptions would have gotten him an additional $333,000. So $1 million in incentives that he basically kissed goodbye when he decided to walk off the field.
Which is exactly what I just said. Thank you. All right. Now, It is 450. I believe we've gotten to all of, and pretty much translation, guys, tonight. Browns, be very careful, play the unders, and the Steelers, be very careful, play it in the second half. All right, we need to get to, we're at 341 likes. We need to get to 500, or we're not going to do the donkey. We're just not going to do it. But I know it's a little bit early, but hey, guess what? We don't press it, and tonight there's not a lot of other stuff going on. So we're going to do the VJM right here, right now. And we've got a chance tonight for history to be made on the last Monday Night Football game of the year. We've got a chance for two different men to become a 3-time entrant into the club. So I still let M Squared go first because he named it. He was the first winner. And whenever he's on the show, that's his spot. Mikey, what do you got?
I'm going with Chase Claypool plus 1,200. Look, I'm not worried about him all being in the doghouse. I think that he's going to be a popular target for Ben Roethlisberger. I think they take some shots down the field early and often as well. Just the number gets us over our requirement of being at least plus 1,000. Want to be on the Steelers side here, and I think this is a good spot for Mr. Claypool tonight.
I think that's where a lot of people are going, but not everybody. Not everybody. AB, let me come to you.
Yep, I'm going Jarvis Landry. Look, I think the Browns are probably going to have an attempt to score first, right? Like if I had to bet on which team that I think would do it, more times than not, it would be Cleveland. And I'm going to go with Jarvis Landry in regards to that because he is so versatile. Plus 1,100 is where we're going to get him at. Yeah, give me Landry. Yeah.
Okay, very good. By the way, shout out to the man, I can't remember the name, who's had COVID, and thanked all of us for getting him through with a bunch of laughs during his quarantine. So get better, and you're welcome. All right, so AB has a chance to become a third time. So does Sia. Sia, talk to me.
Yeah, I'm going with, it's funny because I got a question about a Heath, I almost said Heath Miller, a Heath Miller anytime touchdown. Well, this is Heath Miller 2.0 in Pat Freiermuth. He's plus 1,100. I do think the Browns will get a pass rush on Big Ben. So those short area throws, the easy targets to Deontay Johnson, well, that qualifies for Pat Freiermuth too. So once they get down in the red zone, a big target in the middle of the field, that's where Pat Freiermuth will be, and that's who will be scoring the first touchdown, plus 1,100.
And a whole bunch of people in the chat, they're riding with you at Freiermuth at plus 1,000, plus 1,100, depending on which book that you're at. Oh, hey, John, you're welcome. You are very welcome. All right. Now, there's a lot of layers to this game. There's a lot of layers to being a part of this team. And somebody already mentioned in the chat that we are the rock star quintet of SportsLine. I would agree with that. But when you've got a man who is trying his hardest to get into the club on his own accord, you can't help but root for him unless you haven't gotten in the club ever. And then you can't root for him at all. But Alex, is tonight your night?
I just want to point out that last night in our little pregame soiree meeting before we went on the air, I asked if anybody had Alan Lazard. Fortunately, AB had him, so I'm kicking myself after that. I wish I got to him first. It's killing me. Congratulations, AB. I'm just looking to throw anything at the wall to see what sticks at this point. I am lost here with this VJM. I'm going David Njoku. I saw him at plus 1,800. Baker Mayfield likes to throw to tight ends in the red zone, hoping it's Njoku.
I looked at him. I thought about him. I'm going to go. Here's exactly what I did because I am on tilt. I don't know what to do. And so I just went back to the box score of the last game, and I just looked at all of the Steelers receivers that caught even one pass. Just one. I just needed one. So I'm going to go with Zach Gentry at plus 2,800. Alex is like, that's such a joke. He doesn't catch passes. Plus 2,800, which is my sweet spot, baby. It's my sweet spot. And if Zach gets me in tonight, I'm going to have to send him an early edge t-shirt or something. Damn it, I need to get into the club because it's driving me bananas.
You know what's going to be hilarious is that we're not going to know that Zach Gentry's also playing his last game at Heinz Field tonight. The team just rallied around him.
He'll be doing the whole heart thing. I love you, Pittsburgh. I'll be in here in tears. I love you, Zach. I love you, Zach. Oh my God, I love the VJM so damn much. All right, did the jeweler send in a pick?
No, he did not. He did not. He was so busy with all the other shows and material that he has to put together, he couldn't even get one in. So unfortunately,
I feel like we need to give him one.
All you.
Fair.
All you.
Fair. because I have gotten Alex in doing it this way this year. So, because Alex was down for the count. All right, so let's talk it through real quick. Let's talk it through. So, so many. I don't even know where to start. Should we give him Baker Mayfield just to tease him? He's at plus 2,200.
You should give him like the Browns defense.
I can't. They don't even have a number on that.
Wait,
Do we have
did
a number
anybody
on
take
that?
Big Ben? Did anybody take
I said-
Roethlisberger?
Big Ben
That
is
would be
plus
hilarious.
8,000.
I have a plus 3,200 on mine.
There you go.
You know what? Let's do it. Let's do it. If he doesn't have time to send a pick, we're gonna give Big Ben to the jeweler, and then I can't wait to see his reaction to that. All right, Big Ben. We'll even give him the plus 8,000. I don't give a damn.
Yep.
He ain't gonna score a touchdown. He can't even run 1 yard. If they get stopped at the half-yard line and he does that,
He's going. You know he's
You
sneaking.
know he's going if they get stopped to the half-yard
you
line.
know that's what's gonna happen. You know that's what's gonna happen. Oh, damn it. All right, are we to 500 likes yet? Have we got there?
We're at 455. All right. So we need 45 likes. All right. So I'm going to read you off Zach Gentry's high school. No, I'm kidding. But we do need 45 likes. All right. We need 45 likes, and we will get there. Yeah.
Okay.
Hey,
go ahead, Sia.
I was going to say, while we're waiting, if you don't mind, I'd like to make another official play. I see Chase
Yes.
Claypool's receiving yards prop at 40.5. I know the listener who chimed in had 42.5, but I'm seeing it most places at 40.5. I like that play quite a bit.
So you're going to make that official play over
Yeah.
40.5, Chase Claypool tonight.
Correct.
All
Mhm.
right.
So if anybody out there is good, like with Snapchat, like stickers and stuff, I'm not good enough on Photoshop to get that in. So somebody just pop that on. Yeah, we're good to go.
Sorry.
But hey, we also have 500 likes too. So
All right, we're
Oh,
over
we're at
500.
509. All right. So the floor is yours, the donkey. Let's go, Mikey.
All right. Do we have a graphic on it or no, AB?
yep, it's coming.
Beautiful.
I'm trying to do a lot.
Beautiful.
Yeah, there we go. All right.
All right, here we go. Pittsburgh Steelers alternate spread plus 7.5. Cleveland Browns alternate spread plus 10.5. Over 33.5 in the game. Deontay Johnson over 59.5. Jarvis Landry over 29.5. And Chase Claypool over 24.5 receiving yards. Plus 450 on the donkey tonight.
Oh, I love that plus 450 play. I think we've hit this for those people who are brand new to the show, and every week we have so many new viewers, and thank you for telling your friends to come find us. And they go, does this really hit? I get tweets all, does this really? Yes, we've hit it so many times this year, and it's just a ton of fun because we believe here at the brand it has to be fun, not just serious. That's not what sports betting is all about. It's about having fun and sharing and building a community, which is what we are doing. So the last thing we're going to do is we're going to go over our best bets one more time because people drop in all the time. So if we can put the full screen up minus Sia's pick, we'll go through them quickly, and then we're going to get the hell out of here and enjoy the last Monday night game of the year. Mikey, why don't you start first, pal?
Yeah, I'm going first quarter on this one. Steelers -1 at plus 145. I think this should be closer to even money, frankly, the way that I expect them to come out. So love it at plus 145. You can also find it at -0.5. So you do cash fully with the -1 in that scenario at plus 135 at MGM. But I like it here, -1, plus 145 in the first quarter.
I like that a lot too. Alex, talk to me.
Yeah, I've got Najee Harris under 101.5 combined rushing and receiving yards. Listen, Harris has been extremely inefficient this season, coupled with Pittsburgh's offensive line just not doing him any favors whatsoever. The Browns are also competent against the run. They're 14th in EPA allowed per rush, 10th in run defense grade. He would need a whole bunch of volume to go over this total. We talked about why we think Ben's going to air the ball out a lot in his potentially final game at Heinz Field. So yeah, I am fading Najee Harris under 101.5 combined rushing and receiving yards.
Okay, I love that one a lot. Kevin in the chat, he found the number for the Browns defense. Kevin, if you could please find the number for the Steelers defense. Throw that up there. I may be calling an audible for myself. We'll see. Find that Steelers defense number for me. All right, let's come back. Let's go AB. You're next up. What do you got?
Yep, 2 plays. Ben Roethlisberger over 34.5 pass attempts, -120. Also, Ben Roethlisberger to throw at least 1 interception tonight, plus 100.
All right, thank you very much. Sia, you've got 2 official plays now. What do you got?
Yeah, I got Big Ben over 1.5 touchdown passes and Chase Claypool over 40.5 receiving yards. And again, that's predicated mostly on the narrative that we're building here, but also the fact that there's a lot of injuries in that secondary for the Browns, and they're not as good against the pass as they are the run.
All right, very good. All right, the Maestro is on Nick Chubb. Longest rush over 16.5 yards at -113. And I believe that is all of our best bets. Am I right? All right, so my man John said that Pittsburgh defense is plus 2,400. So guess what I'm going to do? I'm calling audible. I'm changing my pick. I'm going to go with the Steelers defense to score the first play of the game, a nice little out pattern, and we step in front, pick 6. And not only do I get into the club, but Mikey's going to cash his first quarter ticket. 2-1. I feel it already. So change my pick officially. We've got video proof to the Steelers. Thank you, Johnny. Steelers plus 2,400. All right. This has been a great season here on Monday nights. We've loved doing it. Thank you all so very much. As we end every single primetime show, I like to have my guys tell me what they're most looking forward to. Tonight, we're going to do things a little bit different. I want to know what was your favorite thing about doing our first season here on Monday nights. Mike, you've been there with me since day one. Why don't you start?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's definitely sweating the games with everyone here and then on Twitter. It's just the community aspect of it. Everybody's sweating. Everybody looking forward to donkey parlays, Van Jefferson. It's just really been fun to sweat everything out with you guys. It's been cool to see it grow over this last year.
No doubt about that. AB.
Yeah, I got to say, I kind of came in late. You guys had already, created such a monster here with the show, and just so appreciative to be able to jump in with you guys. I've had so much fun. You guys are family. Same thing with everybody in the chat. I'm telling you, I see a lot of different shows around the country. This legitimately is the best chat, the best show, the best people. It's fantastic, man. So just proud and happy to be a part of it.
Let me be very clear. I was the lone no vote when we were deciding whether or not you were going to become a part of the brand. See ya. Talk to me.
Yeah, I'm even late. I'm the latest of this crew to be on SportsLine. I feel so lucky to be here with you guys. I love the energy on this show, but I also love the energy from all the SportsLine subscribers, all the people in this chat. This is a really, really solid group from top to bottom, and I'm super happy to have been a part of it, to be a part of it.
Bro, you are an absolute rock star. Not only here, not only in fantasy, but also in golf too, man. On First Cut with me. Yeah, I mean, you're absolutely amazing. I have so much respect for you. Not AB, but for you, I've got a ton of respect. Now, speaking of respect, we had to beg this person to come on the show. We had to beg this person to come on camera. He's like, I don't like to talk. I'm kind of shy. Now we can't shut him up. Alex, talk to me.
That is an entirely true story. I honestly used to get so much anxiety with the thought of coming on stream. The first handful of streams I did, I was like physically nauseous prior to coming on, and now I look forward to it so much. It's like a complete 180. I am so grateful to be a part of this. I enjoy it so much, and yeah, just honored to be a part of the SportsLine family.
I say this a lot to myself, but I'm going to say it publicly. We are so lucky to have you dudes on our team because it's exactly what it is, a team. AB?
Yep, did want to interrupt you, but we got Jacob Alvarez in the chat who says, I want some nuggets. Can I give one quick one? I think everyone will enjoy it.
As long as they're your small nuggets that we all know you have. Go ahead.
Absolutely. Yeah, thank you, Coach. Appreciate that one. So I'll say this. Looking forward to Week 18, okay? If the Colts lose to the Jaguars, all right, the Raiders and the Chargers will both get in the playoffs if they tie, okay? They play each other on Sunday Night Football. It's the last game of the regular season. Here's the thing. You might be saying, the Colts, lose to the Jaguars. Why do they ever do that? Colts play the Jaguars in Jacksonville every year. They haven't won in Jacksonville since 2014. So what I'm saying is if the Colts lose, you have the Raiders and Chargers get in the playoffs by kneeling on the ball the entire game and tying. Pay attention to that.
Can you imagine, Mikey, if they do that?
Yeah, well, I will say one thing. If you're planning on betting the tie, don't just bet the tie. Go bet the tie and parlay it with the Jags money line because the only way that happens is if the Jags win. So make sure you don't focus on just the tie yet. Bet the Jags money line parlayed with the tie because that's the only way it can happen.
And that's why he's a genius, and that's why we are not. By the way, though, I did see somebody today. I don't know who wrote it, but they said the Raiders may not want to do that because if they do that, guess who they would play in all likelihood? The Kansas City Chiefs, who just whooped their tail 48-9 3 weeks ago. So that's a great storyline. It's a great nugget. It may not be something the Raiders want to do, but who knows? Maybe they'll say, hey, I'll roll the dice. I don't know. But can you imagine NBC? Oh, my goodness.
Awesome.
If they're just running dive plays for 3 hours, I would die. I would die. I would love it. I would absolutely love it. I really, really would. All right. The game starts in 10 minutes. That's all the damage that we can do. Don't forget that we continue after the NFL season. We still have another month. We're going to do live streams before every single playoff game. Don't even worry about it. We're not going anywhere. We're just getting bigger. All right? But for the last time on this Monday NFL season, it is truly my honor and privilege to say, you've got your marching orders. Let's take all of these tickets straight to the pay window. For my entire all-star crew, M Squared, Dial Up, Sia, Alex, Prop Stars, and of course the jeweler who stuck with Big Ben tonight. I got you, jeweler. He puts it all together here at the brand. I am the coach. We'll see you tomorrow morning, and I'm going to be so tired from dancing all night in the club. This is the Early Edge. Good luck.